I'd like to discuss now quadratic equations and how many solutions they have and some terms related to quadratic equations. First of all, what is a quadratic equation? A quadratic equation is a second degree polynomial. All right? That's everything that's involved. So something like this is a quadratic expression. So if you have it equal to something, now you have a quadratic equation. All right. Here's another one. That's another quadratic equation. All right. Second degree polynomials, and I want to discuss the terms. So the first term, the squared term, the second degree term, that's called the leading term. And remember the numbers in front of the variables, like the 5 and the -3, or in the second case the 1, the invisible 1, if you want to pretend there's a 1 there. Those we called coefficients. All right. Now, in order to show you that there are 0, 1, or 2 possible solutions, let me give you an example of each. So, for example, what number squared is equal to -9? 3 squared is equal to +9. -3, the quantity -3, if you multiply that by itself, you also get +9. There is no number, there's no real number that you could square that'll give you a negative number. So this quadratic equation, or I could also write it x squared plus 9 equals 0 if you want, that one has 0 solutions. 0. Okay, there's an example of 0. All right, now what about if I had this situation? What if I had x plus 2 squared equals 0? All right, now in order to solve a equation like that where you have a squared term equal to a number, you can take the square root of both sides. And so that'll give you x plus 2 equals plus or minus 0, but plus or minus 0 are both the same. So that reduces to this, and therefore x is equal to -2. That's the only solution to that original equation. So there's an example where you have one solution. All right? Now on the left, I'll do another example. What if I have x squared equals 16, or if you prefer, x squared minus 16 equals 0? Well, in that case, let's take the first example, I'll put a box around it. Let's take the square root of both sides, and so x has to be equal to plus or minus the square root of 16, which means plus or minus 4. So there are 2 solutions. So you can have 0, 1, or 2 solutions to quadratic equations. So please keep that in mind. We will be using that, and we will be learning other more sophisticated ways to solve quadratic equations in future videos.